Have you ever been wanting a Marvel Legends action figure more than I have? Well, today I finally picked up a Marvel Legends action figure at Ross. This is the first Ross Marvel Legends find I have found. This happens to be the Marvel Legends series Blackheart Build-A-Figure Strange Tales Daimon Hellstrom. Daimon Hellstrom, ladies and gentlemen, or Daimon Hellstrom. This is just a wonderful character from Marvel Legends, and I am Saj the Boss. And this whole Strange Tale wave of Marvel Legends hit last year. It's a brand new style of packaging. It's my first time seeing the new packaging for the Build-A-Figure in person, so it's just a really cool wave in general. The fun fact about this wave is actually it's a fan channel wave, so you will not be able to find these at retail stores. Mostly online retailers, but they won't get this dirt cheap than $6. So yeah, it's crazy. I found two from this wave already. The ones I didn't buy, I kind of regret, but I got Daimon. It just looks amazing, and yeah, and I am Saj the Boss, a massive fan of Hasbro. Okay, Saj, take a look at the closer look at the packaging. This actually feels a lot more cleaner, a lot more thicker than a classic Marvel Legends packaging. The big horizontal package, with the top window, that smooth finish, you know what I'm talking about. This almost feels like a deluxe figure in a way, where you can actually kind of see the $25 speaking at you in this glorious package. So there's Marvel's Daimon Hellstrom right here. This will look beautiful here in the bubble. We got the Strange Tales wave, which is almost a hodgepodge of wacky Marvel characters that you would not think that are actually Marvel characters, if you think by any means. So there's Daimon Hellstrom right here. It's a beautiful spot varnish of the character. I love that crimson eyes looking at him. I wish I got that smirk head sculpt. Like, that's a really cool head sculpt. Come on, Hasbro, throw that head sculpt in there. I got the blue right there, Marvel Legends series. It says Marvel Legends, Hellstrom. It literally says Hell Human and Half Demon. It says, hold on, let me zoom out here. It says half human, half demon. Daimon Hellstrom uses his mystical powers and knowledge to occult lore to defend humanity. So yeah, defend humanity, not whatever. So yeah, just a very cool breed up right here. So half human and occult lore to defend humanity. I'm not too familiarized with the character. I got this for $6. I'll tell you a little bit about the character before we dive in. But this is just the packaging right here, the whole Build-A-Figure. When I first saw this big Build-A-Figure, when I first got revealed, I'm like, holy crap, this thing is amazing. There's some of the figures can be hit or miss in the wave. Some of them are just like, yeah, cool, but I'm like, I don't know if I need them. I'm really looking for that Dracula right there. Is the one I really want for the collection, but I haven't found that one yet. But it also got Marvel's Voodoo, and then the Storm, and then the Moon Knight's another one I'm looking for, and that Wolverine's decent. Not the greatest Wolverine by any means. Legalese. Nothing much on the package. The new way to open their figures. Yeah, scratch this thing open, and boom. Here's a spot varnish of what the actual package looks like. It's almost like a tidal wave, and it's kind of unique. A really unique back of the packaging for the fan channel Strange Tales wave, and that's a really cool photo of him. So this is a really unique collector-friendly packaging with three panels of artwork from the comics. So yeah, shout out whoever designed the comic picture of Daimon right here, Daimon, which is pretty cool. So what I gathered from online research on Daimon is that he's pretty much the Hellboy of the Marvel comics. So if you think of Hellboy, who's the devil's son, it's the same situation with him. He is the Marvel's devil's son, or also known as Mephisto's son. So he's almost like kind of a unique Ghost Rider villain. I don't really know entirely a lot besides that basic information I just gave you. So, well guys, I'm seeing a lot of things I like about this figure right away. First off, he's pinless. Second of all, they got some basic accessories. So let's take a closer look at some of the accessories for the Marvel Legends Daimon. So yeah, before we take a look at this awesome action figure, take a closer look at some of the accessories here. He comes with this big, monstrous leg. It almost reminds me of the villain in Peacemaker. This is a beautiful representation of the Blackheart. I'm sorry, I look at the packaging. Blackheart. The Blackheart's leg here. I think this is the right leg or something like that. It's like this rubberized plastic. It almost reminds me of a Demogorgon. It got some nice greens and grays kind of washed in on the Build-A-Figure leg here. I just cannot wait to get the actual Build-A-Figure all built together. Just an excellent figure here, so I'm hoping to find more and more to add to the collection of these figures. So yeah, this is a cool figure. I absolutely like the leg here, just something special. And then he comes with some fisted hands. There's some basic fisted hands that you see with numerous Hasbro figures. This is my first rodeo with a Hasbro Marvel Legend in a long time, so it might be a little bit of a unique and rusty surprise for me. So we got some fisted hands. Nice solid fisted hands. There's nothing like no rings or anything, which have been a cool way to add some character to the figure as well. And then he comes with his big trident or staff. It literally is just a gold piece of plastic with 3 little prongs to make it a staff. And you can actually just make it kind of go down like Aquaman. So yeah, just a very cool staff. Another reason why I bought this figure in the first place was the staff. I just think it's just a really big and bulky just accessory here. So yeah, just clean plastic going through it. Just almost feels like a spaghetti noodle kind of in color, but it also kind of feels like a cheaper plastic. And here is Marvel's Daimon Hellstrom out of the package, and he is just absolutely stunning. I heard he's on the Sunfire body mold, which I'm not 100% sure what that figure articulation is like, but he has this beautiful head sculpt where he's like half burnt and he's half crimson, and he just almost screams that like he wants something. He's like possessing something with his dark black eyes. This is a very wonderful job of the portrait. You got some nice red grimacing eyes and some lips right here. Looking absolutely stunning, guys. You got the reddish hair that goes all the way down the neck of the figure. And he's got the big pointed ears to make him almost demonic in a way. And it just looks very creepy, sinister. And I like that little black speck right there. So, yeah, that's a very cool little thing on the figure. Down the figure, you got his pentagram, which is just a classic star pentagram you'll see on the wonderful, like, almost when you do a possession, you see in movies and horror movies. It's almost that on his chest. You see in the Slipknot logo, so you got the star. That almost looks like a goat horn from the distance, but it's really a star. And then you got the circle. I thought it was blacklight when I saw it as well, but it's kind of like a misalignment with some of the paint apps, but it's a pretty cool texture there. You also got the painted nipples, which is pretty nice to get actually more accurate looks for the chest in general there. You got the 6-pack abs. You got this beautiful belt here. I'm wondering if that's going to be moved up and down. Got the gauntlets here, which I think you could be removed. If you wanted to remove the gauntlets, you can. Nice slim shoulders. Nice slim shoulders there. You got the beautiful pants here, and they're just almost like Namor pants. Just brown pants in general, so nothing very special there. And they got the feet here, just some nice toes. This is my first barefoot Marvel Legend as well, so it's really cool to see a figure without shoes on and how that's going to balance over time. It just looks very big feet he has. Almost looks like a hobbit. Really cool, though. The annoying thing is they got the butterfly joints, you can see them, but it has this big gaping hole in the back. Come on, Hasbro, you know better. Like, you honestly know better not to include a gaping hole. So, it just a very annoying accessory there to see that gaping hole there is my only gripe about the figure. Other than that, paint apps look solid. Very solid. Just a human that is half shirtless and doesn't really have another shirt on, and that belt's getting in the way. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a closer look at the articulation for Daimon Hellstrom. His articulation, ladies and gentlemen, you can look up about this much, guys. Look down, look side to side. Can move the chest up forward this much, comes back this much, guys. He actually has a nice diaphragm joint on the waist here. Just a very nice diaphragm there. You got some nice legs. Look at that wingspan there. Just don't mind this, it's just toothpaste on my shirt, which is crazy. You got this wonderful leg articulation there, which just looks really nice. He does have some double jointed knees. Really nice range on those knees, ladies and gentlemen. Got the peg holes on the bottom of the foot. And his arms can move up about this much. And he just has a wonderful wingspan. So yeah, there's Daimon. Really nice articulation for this figure already. So yeah, that's probably how I might display him like this, like kind of floating in air. So yeah, really nice articulation. And then I'm going to show you what another figure looks like next to him. But first, let me get him loaded up. And you may be wondering, before I show you the comparison, and you want to upgrade your Marvel Legends figure here, I have the perfect solution for your Daimon Hellstrom and your Johnny Storm. So do you know how Johnny Storm came out in that wonderful wave with She-Hulk and that other Doctor Doom? Well, I happen to have that very figure, and you got to see what I did. So, You may be wondering why Johnny Storm is sitting out here. He's hard to stand up. He may be wondering why he's missing a extra flame hand. You're wondering who I gave this extra hand to. You're wondering. Well, if you look over here, Daimon Hellstrom is using that translucent flame hand to make him this translucent figure from this gauntlet glowing to make him have his power so he's actually on fire. And I think it just absolutely illustrates this figure. To another fire character. So here is Johnny Storm next to Daimon Hellstrom, and they both look really nice side by side together, looking wonderful. And yeah, just great figures. Compared to another villain, which I think will be a really cool team up, is Sabretooth and Hellstrom. I think it'd be really cool to be possessing Sabretooth to go on these like displays of anger and hatred to these two characters. It'd just be very cool and very brutal what Sabretooth can actually do while he's cursed by Daimon. So I think it'd just be a really cool story if they ever adapted that. Well, there you have it, guys. Here's lovely how I'm going to display Daimon in my collection, just like this. I can probably use so many posability options, but I think this might be one of the coolest poses you can get him. Like, he's holding the staff above his head, and you got the fire, and he's calling out the inner powers of the devil and himself into this demonic state here. I think it's a very cool representation of him. It almost reminds me of DC's Lucifer in a way. So it's really cool to see a character that I have no idea who he is. But Marvel's Hellstrom is easily a 10 out of 10 for me. Really nice figure, really well articulated. Minor gripes in the back of the figure, and like these gauntlets are a little bit loose. The ones on the forearms are probably reused from something, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a pretty well darn new sculpted figure, and yeah, I highly recommend him. So if you guys find him at Ross or online somewhere or at a convention, totally pick him up. He's worth it. He's worth it. Well, I'd probably pay about $15 for him. 25 is a little pushing it, but I would consider paying 25 if I had to. But $6 at Ross, 10 out of 10 for me. So if anywhere else, if I paid 25, I'd probably give him an 8. But overall, 10 out of 10. Great Marvel Legend and great way to get me back to collecting Marvel Legends figures. So as always, I am Saj the Boss.